Oh, what's up, guys? Cody today with talk about why Kayle could be potentially coming my new main. So, for any of you that didn't know, I was playing a lot of Gangplank before this patch came in, and I'd been playing Gangplank for a very, very long time. And I've been playing him ever since the rework. I was playing him a little bit before that, but once the rework came out, that's when I really started to play a lot of him. But so with his nerf this patch, I have been very, very less inclined to play him, even though I know he's still strong. He just hasn't been a pick I really want to choose. And because of that, I've been having to do having to play something different. The other main top inners I play are Quinn and Gnar, but Quinn's more of a counter pick than anything else, and Gnar is just kind of my go-to tank. So, Kayle, I've been playing her quite a bit, and felt like I was at the point where I could play her in ranked, and I won pretty much all my games with her. I think I only lost one or two so far. So I have at least a 70% win rate on her, if not like 80. So right now I'm feeling really confident with Kayle. She's a champion that is just it's interesting because she's a champion that is a lane bully but also wants to farm up in lane. Because she's really good once she gets her Nashers and her Rage Blade, and then after that, anything else is just adding on to her power. Such as if I have a like after Nashers and Rage Blade, I'll get a Renan's Hurricane, which is just more attack speed. Boots, I'll typically get Berserker Greaves, but sometimes they'll change depending upon the matchup I'm in. But right now, it's just Kayle's just really powerful. Oh, plus her ult is just really good in terms of just saving your carries. And it like really disrupts like the whole enemy's team fights because they burst down everything. But it's just really funny when enemies try to think that they can get you, and then they figure out that Kayle had her ult and they couldn't. But she's really strong for a champion that doesn't see a lot of play, which is very surprising. And so as a result of that, like I was really surprised by how strong Kayle was. As you can see right here, I just beat him to death. I didn't even have to try, because all she does is she just Qs and then just autos away, which not necessarily my type of play style, but I mean it's the fact that I'm winning is what I really care about, more so than anything else. And the reason why Kayle does do good a lot of times is because people don't know how to play against her. And honestly, you have to if you have to get your jungler to help apply pressure to her, because she is a lane bully and she's very immobile early on, and she doesn't necessarily have strengths early on. She's not all that strong at the early levels because she doesn't have items yet. But when it so like a lot of times you need your jungler to come help you, and it'll work because Kayle naturally pushes the lane as she tries to farm. So it's very, a lot of times I was finding myself getting KO'd by the jungler, which is what was supposed to happen. But the but it's just, she's very, I mean, you have to kind of get used to how to she plays a little bit, but she's not the hardest of champions to learn, but she is very annoying to play against. And if you don't play her right, then it really you can really screw it over. And a lot of people don't exactly know how to counter Kayle. I find that anybody with a slow is a pretty good counter to Kayle, as Kayle, all she wants to do is to Q you and just E you, and if once that's done, if you can just throw down the slow on her, she's never going to get away. So that champions that have a slow that deal a pretty good chunk of damage are really frustrating for Kayle to deal with. Like the one champion I was having issues with was Mundo. Was a big issue for me because he just dealt way too much damage, and I couldn't deal any damage to him. And so, like, instead of building a Runehands that game, I had to build a Blade of the Ruined King first. So it's like it's frustrating those games like that, but like, so she's just most people don't know how to play against Kayle. She's just super strong in my opinion. She's a very good mid-game champion. All she wants to do is she wants to bully out the lane and farm at the same time, which is kind of weird. But you get used to it. It's like, because most times lane bullies don't exactly want to just power farm to get their items, but it's just a different style. But yeah, and she's also Nashor's Rageblade or Runehands are kind of core items on her. The boots you can change to whatever you feel like you need at the time, but most times I just go Berserker Greaves just because I want the attack speed. And she can build after she gets like her core items. It honestly just depends upon, after that, for your item path, it honestly just depends upon what you feel like you need at the time being. Like, if you're carrying your team, then build more damage. You can build a Hextech Gunblade, or you can build a Death Cap. You can build a Rylai's for more slow. You've got a lot of options as to what you want to do. You can also build defensive with just whatever defensive items you might want. You can get Zonia's depending upon the enemy. So she's very versatile in what she can build after she gets her core items. So, and she doesn't have a lot of burst damage, which is what I like in champions a lot of times. But the damage over time is more similar to that of an AD carry, and it works out. But like it's a weird style because she's a mage, but she's not a mage. It's really weird. And like she's like the runes on Kayle, she doesn't take any like AP or magic pin or anything. She takes 2 attack speed quints, 1 scaling cooldown reduction quint, all attack speed marks, armor seals, and cooldown reduction glyphs. So it's a really weird, like, it's really just weird how where she's getting her damage from, because it's really just from excessive autos. So Kayle's just a different style of champion than what most people are used to and what I'm used to for sure. So it took me a while to get used to it, but I'm having fun with it. Like I said, my win rate's pretty good with her as of right now. And yeah. Her heal's also pretty good in the sense that when it comes to the laning phase, you can just be popping the heal to get your health back. The one con about Kayle's laning phase is that she can't be spamming her heal, which is fine. There has to be a con somewhere. But so, what happens with Kayle is that she can use any of her abilities. As long as she doesn't use another one, she'll get back all of her mana. But so, what typically ends up happening is that, if, like, you can just be spamming your E and not run out of mana most times in lane. But as soon as you start having to use Q and W, with your E, it becomes, problematic for sustaining that mana. So enemy surrenders after this. The enemy was pretty dumb this whole game. They had a Fizz top with heal. They had a Victor with wind speakers. They had a Nunu, which in itself is dumb, but Nunu also didn't have smite. And yeah, just a lot of dumb things overall. So after that, that was pretty much game. They end up surrendering 2 minutes later. So yeah, that's Kayle for me. If you haven't tried Kayle, I suggest you go and do so because she is really strong, and not many people know how to play against her. So just don't play her into the champion with slows. That slows are pretty much what I think really hurts Kayle the most for her laning phase. So, but yeah, if you haven't tried her out, go ahead because she won't get banned and she probably won't get picked. So she's just a really interesting champ. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Remember, like and subscribe if you did, and see you in the next one. Thanks.